Welcome back to Wedlocked and Loaded.
Wedlocked and loaded.
You women.
Do not lump us all in one category.
So you girls, and lie and stretch the truth
You
and try
girls,
to get us jammed up.
First of all, I'm a whole ass woman, right? Think about
No
that.
disrespect.
Sounds like it to me. So why can't y'all? What is it with men that they just can't walk away?
Depends how good it is. You don't want to give that away. Greetings, episode 6, Wedlocked and Loaded. I am Daniel Laurent.
I am Leah Nicole.
And we are back with another edition for your listening pleasure. Hopefully it's pleasurable and not painful. Last episode, we went back and forth we actually didn't go back and forth. I kind of just listened.
You definitely did not just listen.
Well, for the most part, I listened and Leah spoke her truth. So, is there anything else you want to add to that, or you want to put a button on it?
We can put a button on it, and we can when we unbutton that button, we can talk about your truths.
What?
Yeah, I'm just saying, it don't gotta be right now. We can revisit that later and talk about your truths.
Alright, well, so what we're going to talk about today is what?
I mean, you can, is there an acceptable level of flirtation when you are in a relationship or married?
You go.
No, I just went. So you go.
You didn't go, Leah. Just give your opinion of answer it. My answer is absolutely going to be different from yours.
Who knows?
It's definitely going to be.
So try it.
Just answer, Leah.
Babe, go ahead. I'm giving you the floor.
Is there an acceptable level? I don't know. What does that mean? What does flirting even mean? There's different opinions on what flirting is.
What is flirting?
The textbook definition? I don't know.
Flirt. Behave as though attracted to or trying to attract someone, but for amusement rather than with serious intentions.
But
okay, your definition.
But flirting, if you're being uber friendly and almost kind of quasi courting the person, complimenting them,
you stuttering.
I don't know. For me, flirting is more extreme than a general sense, because I feel like how I am typically, people will consider that flirting, and I don't consider that flirting.
And how
either I consider it being polite or being nice or being caring or generous. I'm not so it's this thing when you're in a relationship and any other female that you encounter, it has to be very very hard. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them, it's very, you almost look down, almost like a pimp to the hoes. You know what I'm saying? You don't look in the eyes.
What?
Huh?
How did we get there?
I'm saying what oftentimes will tend to happen is when a male is in a relationship, any other female, you are not supposed to have any sort of, there's no going to lunch together, there's no complimenting the person, there's no talking on the phone at any time for any length of time, there's no dropping off or giving a ride, there's no nothing. And I just don't subscribe to that. I don't believe in that. I don't think that's necessary.
So you putting yourself in situations where things can be questioned or things can potentially go a certain way, even though it was not necessarily your intention for it to be that or for it to go that way.
You ask me if I like it?
That's what since you don't subscribe to the traditional, no going to lunch with females, no exchanging numbers or talking on the phone. Like what are you really saying?
I don't know.
And so let's flip that, right? Like, how comfortable would you be with me chatting it up to just random guys?
Flag on the play.
Or going to lunch with just random guys, or just, people that you don't necessarily know.
Flag on the play.
Or dudes that you don't necessarily know.
So before I answer that, is this like a sex conversation where it's like male, female?
So we're talking about flirting, right?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna talk about we're gonna be realistic, and we're gonna talk about what it is that we know that each other is attracted to. All that other stuff doesn't matter.
But does it matter if you are attracted or if the person is attracted to you? Because that's my ulterior argument.
No, but
because if I'm not attracted to a person, but they are attracted to me, you don't care.
Being that
yeah,
as your argument, right? You don't necessarily, like, if you know that somebody is attracted to you, why then play into that?
No, I don't know, and I'm not saying that I do know.
Okay, so then
I'm saying that I am absolutely not, and my assumption is that they're not either.
Let's just stick to the script, right, and talk specifically about you and me. What would be an acceptable, if any, level of flirtation?
I'm gonna answer that, but before I answer that, I'm just saying, is this a sex conversation?
This is specifically about,
because if you go out with like random females, my mind doesn't feel any more comfort.
What I'm saying to you is that take all that extra stuff out of the equation. We're talking about what you and I are attracted to. So going out with
another person. All right. So
what you and I are attracted to.
I don't think that matters.
What our preference is. I think it matters.
I don't think it matters, Leah. Who does it matter to? To your spouse?
So,
like, who's it matter to?
So, for you to say, right, that it doesn't matter for you if I go out with females, with my female friends, because you feel like anything can happen. I mean, I can also say the same thing, right? Because there are plenty of dudes that are on the DL.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, you could definitely say down low.
But
you definitely could have said down low.
I mean, so you got stuck on that, and that's fine.
But
you got stuck on that, and that's fine.
Okay.
But what I'm saying to you is that if we are talking about what we are physically attracted to or sexually attracted to, all that other stuff that you're mentioning doesn't matter.
All right. Well,
so would you be okay with me giving dudes rides or taking rides from dudes? Would you be okay with me going to lunch or dinner with dudes? Or just chilling with just dudes that are not your friends?
I don't think so. But I mean,
what? You don't think so? Either you will or you won't be okay with that.
I don't think I would be okay with it, but I guess knowing.
So why? Let's talk about why you wouldn't be okay with that.
Well, because dudes typically know other dudes, just like girls typically know other girls, right? But I think that some things, I don't subscribe to like men. So on a foundation level, I don't subscribe to men and women can't be friends and be platonic. I believe that absolutely can happen. Right? Some people don't believe in that, which then will dictate their actions going forward forever. I don't believe in that. So having that on the table, I think it is possible to have interactions or have company from opposite sex. However, I think that, I, I think it depends on how things are framed, I guess. And in the past, I haven't done the best job at putting the like the hardcore apparent boundaries up.
Boundaries and just boundaries.
Hardcore boundaries.
So a boundary
because
in
a
itself
boundary
is
is,
hardcore.
for me, a boundary is wearing my ring. A boundary is saying my wife. A boundary is my wife's calling. Hold on a second. Those are all boundaries for me. Versus not having my ring on. Versus saying, oh, I gotta go, instead of saying I gotta go pick up my wife. Or if you call, not answering the phone, or answering the phone and saying, hello, hey. And then when you say I love you, say, me too. Like, for me, those things are like mixed signals that you can send to the other person. Those things I don't do. So for me,
and not being in their company can't send those kind of signals. Whether you're telling your wife, I love you,
it
or
all
I'll
can,
be
Leah,
right
but
back, or whatever the case may be.
it all can, but again, for me, how I think, because there are the examples where those things are being done, which is definitely sending a clear signal. So if you are with a female and you're married, and she knows you're married, and she's seen you with your ring before, and all of a sudden y'all are having lunch and you don't have your ring on, the assumption could be maybe you left it home or you lost it. But that could be sending a signal. And by you taking that off, that's intentionally like sending a signal. But for me, I know that I actually will like do stuff and like rub my face with my left hand to show it.
And
for
so,
me.
And so you think that is a deterrent?
I don't know, Lee, but I'm not hiding it. Is my point.
Great.
But what you're like, I'm telling you, for me, like, it's not a matter of me like trying to build a case and like speak about it on the stand and you cross-examining me. I'm telling you, for me, this is what, like, I don't, like, it's not a secret, and it's not something where I'm ashamed of, or I'm exuding that I'm not happy, or I'm exuding that I'm seeking someone else's attention. I'm asking you, what are you doing for Friday night? Hey, you want to go to the movies with me? Hey, you want to go to dinner? Hey, there's a concert tomorrow night, you want to come? Like, none of that stuff is happening. Those things, the way my mind works, is what's sending signals of, Now, if, I don't know. Like, and again, I think for me,
so being that you can do all those things, right, and not find any faults in them, right? Why then is it not necessarily okay for me to do those same things?
I didn't say it wasn't okay.
You said you would not. You don't think you'd be okay with it.
I said I don't know. I don't know if I would. You, because you are the person that like will set the boundaries, and you'll like not kind of put out that, you say, like, false hope and sprinkle fairy dust or whatever. I don't necessarily have an issue per se, because I feel like you can handle yourself. However, like, there's some guidelines around that, I guess.
So what are your guidelines?
I mean, if you're showing up at night at like 11 at night and you're having like you go on a dinner or something, it's just kind of like strange. Or like you're being dropped off at midnight, or like your car is here and you're riding with them and going somewhere and then you're being dropped off. Like, it's like,
Why?
But I also don't like that when you go out with your girlfriends, because that immediately makes it so you're at their mercy, and you're captive to whenever they're ready to leave.
Well, not necessarily.
And
that.
I feel like as a car owner, like, I don't subscribe to that.
Well, I'm not.
Like, I'm very rarely like at somebody's mercy and in their car.
At anyone's mercy. Or
you have been, Leah, for sure. You've
at
done
the end
more
of
than
the
me
day,
in my life.
At the end of the day, when I am ready, I can call an Uber or Lyft or
But you
my
don't be
husband.
ready. So that's a whole other.
So
That's
that
a
has
whole
nothing
other.
to
That's a
do
whole
with
other
the people.
episode. But you have certainly been a passenger more than I have, for sure.
Absolutely. Why do we need to take 12 cars when we go out?
See, that's a fundamental. That's just a difference. Like I don't.
I mean,
And what's funny is you are a person where you have said to me like, I want to, when I'm ready to leave, I'm ready to leave. And so for you to be a person that puts yourself, I don't know. That's interesting to me. But I don't do that. I can probably count on two hands how many times I've like rode with people.
well, you only have two hands.
Leah, but the point is, you can count on your two hands, plus mine, plus our kids, plus all of your friends.
Okay, kiss my ass with that one.
It's dirty.
It's not.
Anyway. So, as far as an acceptable level of flirtation, I don't know. I guess everyone has different versions of, or different definitions of what flirting is. Like for me to see a female walking down the street and I say hi or good morning, like some will consider that flirting. I've had conversations with people about that.
I
To
don't
me, that's
consider
not
that
flirting at all.
That's just common decency.
It's common decency and courtesy. But there are people that feel like that's like, why are you speaking to another female? Why not?
Okay, so let me ask you: if I'm at the mall or whatever, if I'm walking and I happen to pass another guy, right, and he smells good. Me asking him what he's wearing, is that like, do you consider that flirting?
No,
If
but
me
I
saying
consider
you
it
smell
disrespectful.
What are you wearing? You consider that disrespectful?
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
How, Slay?
Because you want me to smell like another nigga, yeah.
So I'm gonna need you to stop saying the N word.
Sorry.
And then
Bleep it out.
So that's one. Two, what we know is that no cologne is going to smell the same on everybody.
Blah, blah, blah.
So you will not necessarily smell like the other man, but there is something in that scent
that turns you on.
So, what?
Yeah, that turns you on, nigga.
Me?
Sorry. I actually don't even. My fault.
You're definitely wild, but no. That caught my attention, maybe, but turned me on. No, it doesn't turn me on.
I've definitely smelled like nice fragrances, and I don't think I've ever like went up to a female and said like, "Oh, like what's that smell? Like what do you smell like?"
No, so no, you don't say what do you smell like.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just like I'm freestyling. Like
Yeah,
my point is, like I've smelled females that smelled good, and I just like I accept it for what it is. I don't say like, "Oh, what's that fragrance? Oh, my sweet dear." Or
you don't. I mean, see, like you're doing way too much. Like that's super extra. Like if
hello, madam, what's that fragrance
cross,
you're adorning?
No, if I cross paths with someone and
you sniff their neck and say, "What do you smell?"
No, I don't sniff. I don't have to sniff their neck if they are wearing it appropriately. Like, and I pass by, like, or we cross paths rather, like I'm going to smell it, just like I'm gonna smell somebody's funk.
And so when they see you the next time, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's the chick that was digging my scent."
Whatever. Like,
oh, that's the bee that was asking me what am I wearing, because it sounds like a pickup line.
It's real. No, and so
you say like, "What's that smell? I want to get it for my husband."
What I'll say is like, "Wow, what do you like? Like, what are you wearing? It smells good."
Yeah.
And they'll usually tell me.
Of course they do.
And I'll be like, "Wow, thank you," and that's that. Like, there's no
like, what's your Instagram handle?
No, yeah.
Yeah, knock it off. So that you in your head and in your world don't see how that could be a pickup line.
So what I'm saying is, if I stayed and went further, or you know what I'm saying, like, yes, then that can possibly turn into something else. But if I am being sincere in my quest to find what the hell they're wearing,
I'll flip your lip.
what they are wearing then that's gonna be that.
Yeah, I don't know.
No extra.
If a girl asks me, what am I wearing?
What?
I'm like, well, I mean, what's it smell like?
No. See how like that's too much. Oh yeah.
I'm kidding, Leah.
Unfortunately, I don't believe that you are.
I mean, I'm not gonna make a whole big production on someone asking me what am I wearing. I don't even know, like, the stuff that you got that I like I don't even know the name of that. So I'll probably call you and be like, hey, what's the name
And
of
then
it?
I'll have to fuck you up.
Come on, yo. You're whack.
No, I'm not.
You mean to tell me if somebody, so for you who does that, if a for a lady
I call you and ask
no,
you.
you ask a dude, what's he wearing?
And he
So,
knows right off the rip.
my
what
wife
he's
bought me
wearing.
something that
and if you spray it on yourself every day, every other day, 2 times a week, however many times, you look at it every single day, then you should know what the fuck it is.
why are you swearing it?
Because now I can.
Period, sis.
Well, I don't know. So I'm gonna call
So
my
then
wife.
that's a problem.
It's a problem. I don't know what
If you like it,
my wife bought it for me.
if you besides that, if you like it, then you should know what it is.
So I gotta look at it.
So then I think you should.
So when I'm asked, I can say exactly what it is.
Possibly.
But if I was to call you, you would.
I'd have a problem with that.
Oh my God, yo.
I'd have a problem with that.
Because
And call it, maybe it's past, you know what I'm saying, past stuff. But like,
are you kidding?
I'm not.
But
kidding.
you do that though.
I call you and ask
oh my
you.
God, we're talking
would
in
you buy
circles.
me?
No, Leah, because
I call you and ask you what you.
I'm saying that you ask other guys, and so
they know.
Yeah.
What it is that they are wearing.
But if they said, I don't know, hold on, let me call my wife, what are you going to say? No, don't bother?
Yeah, I'm good. It's not that deep. Thank you.
Come on,
It
man.
smells good either way. Because it's not, it should never be that deep.
It's not deep. I'm calling,
Don't call me. Don't call me for another woman.
That's wild.
That's definitely not wild. Because if you genuinely don't know, you just don't know.
I just feel like
you can clearly just say,
like
I don't know, my wife bought my wife bought it.
I feel like that's a fuck off answer. And I would be annoyed if somebody gave me an answer like that.
If
that's
they
that's
don't
some
know,
stupid ass answers. Like, yo, where you get that coat from? I got it from New York. Get the fuck out of here. You got it from downtown.
I don't feel like that's the same.
Yeah, but if I don't know what I'm wearing. My wife bought it.
Because simply you can Google search an image. You can describe something and find that, like, describe what you're looking for and you'll be able to find it. However, a scent, it's possible that you don't know what it is. It's possible you don't remember.
Well,
but you can simply just say, "Oh, I'm not sure. My wife bought it for me." Y'all did all of that, but don't you dare call me and ask me.
Well, I'm glad this came up because I genuinely would not think that that's a problem.
What?
I don't understand, Leah. I genuinely don't. I don't get it. I actually think that, like, I don't know.
Especially if you think that that's a pickup line. Like, why then would you engage any further?
But I feel like by me saying that is like,
By you saying what?
I don't know. My wife bought it. Hold on. Let me ask her.
And if she stands around and waits, like, that's bananas. Because I'm not doing that. If somebody tells me they don't know, their significant other purchased it for them, I'm going to say, oh, wow, it really smells great. Thank you anyway.
Whatever.
And I'm going to keep it pushing. And then I'm going to smell the next dude.
We got Ja Rule on the phone. Let's see what Ja's thoughts are on this tragedy. Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this, nigga? This is ridiculous.
So what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Glad you're tickling yourself.
Somebody got to do it.
Look. So what? So your answer about flirtation is what? Like what?
I mean, there's definitely levels.
You look at dudes and lick your lips and all that type of stuff.
Do I look at dudes and lick my lips?
Yeah.
Like,
Because we
What?
already, the last show we talked about the dancing bear stuff. So we already know.
We don't know anything.
Come on.
Don't play with me.
So, do you lick your lips or not?
I don't even understand your question.
When you look, like, what do you do? Like,
What do you mean? What do I do?
What's flirting? Like, you follow people and, like, comment and
Yeah, I mean
send
that's
them.
not. That sounds a little stalker-ish. That sounds.
That's not stalking.
If you're following people,
You follow people.
what are you talking about,
Leah, on socials.
dog? Listen,
You don't meet somebody and be like, oh, what's your handles? Like, blah, blah, blah. Because that's safer than, like, giving a phone number.
yeah,
You definitely, like, exchange handles.
really,
There's, like, random dudes on your stuff.
really.
And you be like, oh, Gaia.
There's no
You look
randoms
so-
on my page.
It's definitely, I was going to, yeah, it is.
There's no randoms on my page.
Not to you. To me, they're randoms.
Well, they're
And
not
it ain't my
randoms.
job to go
They're
and try
not
to meet all of them.
They're not randoms to me.
I mean, that can go both ways.
However, if you can see who's on my page, then you got questions and you know who to ask. You know who to ask.
I trust you, you know what I mean? I trust you, you'll take care of it. You'll handle whatever.
Oh, I'm glad you have that level of trust in me.
But I also know you be going around sniffing niggas' necks.
I don't
So-
go around sniffing anyone's necks.
Well,
I don't need to do that if they smell. If I can smell them when we pass each other's path, when we cross each other's path.
did you say crotch?
When we cross each other's path.
That was a Freudian slip. You said crotch.
We'll play it back at some point and figure it out.
Yeah. Anyway. So we don't. So I don't think we see eye to eye on that. Like.
So I think, well, one, I didn't really get a chance to say what flirtation is or flirting is to me, right? I think that there are some of us that do it unknowingly. But I also think that there's definitely different levels of flirting, right? Some are more blatant than others, and some happen. Some form of flirtation happens, like unconsciously, right? Like you unconsciously do it. And I think that, like, for me, for a long time, I would, like, if I was talking to a dude, not random, I don't want to say random, but like if I was talking to somebody that I wasn't necessarily, friends with or acquaintances with, like, well, I guess I would say I was an acquaintance. I wouldn't necessarily look them directly in their eyes, right? Because for me, early on, I've learned that when I did that, there was some message that they received that I was not necessarily given, right? And so for a long time, like, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm just gonna divert my eye contact. But then, like, it kind of made me feel like, after a while, it started making me feel uncomfortable. So with that being said, like, for some people, for whatever it was they were seeing in my eyes, they considered that flirting. But I wasn't saying anything sexual. I wasn't pretending or I didn't think that I was given the impression that I was attracted to them and I wanted to play with them, so to speak. Yes, so to speak.
Play with them. Jeez. That's like savage talk. Only savages say stuff like that.
Well, I don't know why you keep saying, like...
I'm just saying, like, play with them. Like, that's savage talk.
No, it's not. I mean, whatever. You can call it what you want. I'm not going to argue with you about that.
I know.
But, I don't know, right? Again, like, people get things from you that you are not necessarily putting out.
I know, so leave me alone, yo. I don't put anything out.
That's one, I'm not bothering you, but two, that's not necessarily true.
Leah, you can't say both things.
So I
can't talk out of both sides of your face.
So I can, no. Right? And so by saying that, that's not necessarily true. So like you might not necessarily be putting that those vibes out there intentionally, right? But when you are going on these lunch dates without your wife, when you are being, super available to chat on the phone, that's a whole different message that you're putting out.
Super available?
Super available.
What does that mean?
When you're available more than you should be.
Leah, says you.
More than you should be.
We're not going to talk about... So, I don't know.
More than you should be.
But if I'm driving and talking on the phone while I'm going somewhere, mm-hmm. that's not me stopping and parking and talking and looking at the birds chirp.
And so
I'm actually doing something as I'm talking to you, and then when I get to my destination, I gotta go.
So says you. But my point is that, I think the level of availability that you offer folks can come off as making yourself, look like you are actually available. And depending on what it is what the vibe is that they picked up, married or not, it can be considered flirting, and then they can take that and run with it, right? Because now, this dude's bad nice, you know what I'm saying? He's nice, he's making time for me. Yeah, I know he's married, but he's just mad cool. He smells good, and I like him. Meanwhile, you just, oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, blah 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 blah. Sure, we can go. Yeah, we can do lunch.
So what's the best way to avoid something like that? If you could talk to me, you could talk to other people listening. What's the best way to avoid that as a guy?
Don't put yourself in certain situations.
But
and
what situations though? What are we talking about?
Don't make yourself.
I need you to deal on specifics.
Don't make yourself uber available.
I'm not making myself uber available.
No.
And uber available.
No.
No, Leah. So says you. Come on, yo. What happened today? Knock it off.
Listen.
I don't even know what you were doing, but knock it off. Don't talk about uber available. I was uber available for you at 6:15.
I didn't say I would be home at 6:15.
You said you'd be home at 6:30.
I said I would be home by 6:30.
You'd be home at 6:30. And I didn't hear from you until when I heard from you.
And I texted you.
So you gotta knock it off. Talking about uber availability. And you were out free in these streets since 4:15. I'm always free,
and don't be doing that.
So, please, I don't want to hear it. You could stop. Now, talk about Uber availability. Bullshit.
Somebody seemed mad.
I definitely am.
Well, I think you should get it together, sir.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
Good.
Yeah. Go on.
But what? Because now I don't even know what we're talking about.
Leah, how specifically, what can people do?
I mean, that is,
because you're saying Uber available. That's not.
To each their own. I'm just going to say to you as my husband.
And you ain't talking to me. Talk to them.
I'm saying to you as my husband.
La, la, la. I got wax in my ears.
Oh, okay.
La, la, la. La, la, la. I haven't cleaned my ears in 4 weeks.
So that's disgusting.
La, la, la. La, la, la.
Anyway.
La, la, la.
Do unto others as you would like done unto you.
I do all the time, yo.
So.
I do kind acts.
Think about your actions and think about how it would make you feel if it was done to you by your significant other. And that's my message to you and everybody else that's listening. Because I am a firm believer in what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
You keep saying that stupid shit, Leah. You
I
gotta
don't-
stop.
I won't. It's what
Because,
I believe.
like, whatever, yo.
If you can do it, I can do it. And you better be careful.
Leah, you follow the fucking naked masseuse dude, right?
And you follow booties all day.
I do not.
Like, come
I
on.
told you.
Oh,
and
now because you deleted some of them?
No.
Because you was just, you was on your thing the other day and...
What's a hearing?
No.
Yeah.
No, you was on your phone the other day on the IG, I believe. And like I just happened to like look over and I just see this big old booty.
It actually
what are
wasn't
we
a
doing?
booty. It was like saw her hips.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's the girl.
I
It's
don't know the girl.
artist
I don't
girl.
care. The
Yeah,
point
but, like,
is
that's-
that,
but
that's
she-
not. But that's not like, it's not like that's the only. You know what I'm saying? That's not like. That's
90,
just one of
90% of the
Why are you
cheeks.
yelling?
Because, like, this needs to be clear.
But this-
90%.
You don't have to shout.
90
That you know them
percent-
personally.
No.
So what are you saying?
Leah, shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up. What's wrong with you?
What are you doing, yo?
I'm listening.
90.
Hurry up.
I got time.
90. Go ahead. I don't know how many times you're gonna say it. Are you gonna spell it next?
Let me 90% of the TNA that is on my IG timeline is from me following one person who does all this stuff, right? And so when it's on there,
So
and
I'm
I don't
not
like,
gonna
and
let
I
you
don't
do
even
that.
like all of it, right? But that is 90% of what's on my timeline. So,
Meanwhile.
or 90% of when that's on my timeline.
Meanwhile.
But I also follow Tamika Mallory. I also follow my son. I also follow.
Does that make you feel better?
No. I
Okay,
follow
so then
Charlemagne.
Don't sit up here and talk to me about all of that.
But, like, I don't follow.
'Cause-
Because the same reason I don't go to strip clubs, I don't want to be teased. So I'm not interested. I did follow Tahiri, and I, like, found myself staring, and I'm like, oh my God. And I unfollowed her. Because I don't, like, I'm not interested. I'm not in the business of being teased. I just don't want it.
You just like to tease.
What?
You just like to be a tease.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. Go on.
Leah.
I'm glad you know my name.
You gotta knock it off. For a person like me that my mind deals in extremes,
I'm gonna need you to get out of that.
what are you talking about?
So that's the other thing. So like you talk about how your mind deals in extremes, right? But you don't ever seem to put yourself at the extreme level that you feel like your mind deals with you in when you put yourself in certain situations that could wreak havoc on your life.
I have.
Shh.
I have put myself in extremes.
But you don't think about it as it being an extreme when you're in that position.
No, because I feel like I'm putting safeguards in place.
Of course you're not.
Well, I don't know. I think, with the exception of one time,
One time?
yeah. I think typically the people who I have spent time with or befriended, for the most part, like it wasn't like I didn't feel like it was something where it was like, yeah, we can, we can get together and we can play with each other on a weekend. Like I didn't have that type of option in my head, and it wasn't said blatantly.
Just because you don't think that you have the option doesn't mean that it's not there. So again, like you still, you still put yourself in situations where now you are like literally standing at the edge, peeking over, right? And so what happens when that then said person says, come on, jump?
Geronimo, motherfucker.
What happens then?
You asking me?
Absolutely.
We don't have enough time for the. We can say that for the.
Now we don't have enough time.
No, we can save it for the next thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember that point.
Yeah, what happens when you on the edge and the motherfucker say, come on in?
You gotta stop swearing now.
Don't tell me.
So, yeah. Alright, so, I had a question, but now we don't have time.
Mm-hmm. Again, think about your actions, how it would feel to you if it was flipped in reverse and done onto you.
Leah, you've done it, yo. Like, come on.
I'm not even talking to you. I'm just giving.
Oh, now you're talking to the people. Now you're fucking. Now you are talking to the people.
So I'm gonna need you to stop cursing at me.
Oh, now, right?
Because when I said the bad word.
You said a bunch.
When I said the bad word, I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking to you. I asked you to talk to the people, and you want to keep directing it to me personally.
I asked you a
this
question.
Is supposed to be in general.
Question.
The question I feel
was
attacked.
Asked.
I can't help.
I
can't help but to feel attacked, Leah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like I feel like I'm being persecuted.
So again, all I'm saying to you and anybody listening, who cares to listen, is think about your actions and how it would feel if those acts were done to you. That's how you can gauge your level of flirtation. Does it feel good? Would it feel good if it is done to you? Would you appreciate it if whatever it is that you're doing was then flipped and done to you? Since we need, exacts. I can't give an exact. I can't speak for everyone. But you know how you feel. You should know, or you should be able to imagine how you would feel if said thing was done to you.
Is foot massages cheating?
I don't know, because when people rub my feet, they tend to want to suck toes, so.
Oh, yeah?
Is that cheating? Is somebody sucking my toes cheating?
Yeah, I didn't say putting one's mouth on any part of the body. I said is a foot massage.
I thought we was out of time. Ain't that what you asked me?
There's 10 seconds. So a foot massage, is that considered?
If you are not getting a massage by a professional in a professional setting, then yes, that's a problem.
What's the stipulations about?
Excuse me?
What's the stipulations about?
So I can go to Tony.
Who's Tony?
Whoever Tony is, and let him massage my feet.
You was going to say his last name, so that means it's a real person.
I don't know the people's last name to be saying it.
So there is a okay. Yeah, we going
I don't know a Tony. I was just
Leah.
asking.
No, yeah, fuck this. Wrap up. You can close.
What happened?
Just finish. Close out, yeah. Fucking dumb shit.
Oh, well, that would conclude episode 6 of Wedlocked and Loaded.
Fucking clown. You don't have no sound. You don't have no.
I already did my sound off.
Yeah. All right.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Think about how you would feel.
Yeah. And watch out for Tonys.
I don't know a Tony, babe.
Liar.
I do know a Tony, actually.
I know you do. Signing off, everyone. Wedlocked and Loaded, episode 6. Fucking bullshit. Wedlocked and Loaded.
Wedlocked and Loaded.